Hello and welcome to Van Andel Stadium. My name is Matt Roblin. I'm joined by Austin Cortez. Tonight we have a game between the Hope Flying Dutchman team and the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. Hope is coming off of a tough loss against Oberlin. They played in Ann Arbor. In that game, Hope was up 5-3, but they gave up 5 straight goals to Oberlin in a 6.5-minute span late in the second quarter. Hope tried to mount a late comeback, but Oberlin held on for a 1-point lead. Illinois Tech is coming off of the first game of their season, Austin, where they defeated Cornell 9-7. In that game, they opened up with a 4-0 lead. They found themselves trailing by 2 in the fourth quarter, but they finished with 4 unanswered goals. Ball is awarded to Hope after an illegal face-off procedure. Austin, we're going to see a lot tonight of Hope operating behind the X. They like to operate a lot, initiate offense from behind the net.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. That's definitely what we've seen in the last 3 games here for Hope.
Here's a man. Save from Handy, who starts the game. Second start of the season for Zane Handy. The Scarlet Hawks look to clear. Bit of a sloppy play there, and that's a failed clear for the Scarlet Hawks, taken by the Dutch. The last time the Dutch played at Van Andel, they defeated Illinois Wesleyan, which was a very impressive win, Austin. They won by 1. It was a game they trailed 6-2 at halftime, came back to win the game.
Yeah,
real
big
moral booster.
Yeah, definitely a big win over a ranked team, number 14 at the time. So that was huge to start off the Dutchman season.
Hope maintains possession. Here's man. Strong defense there from the Scarlet Hawks, but Hope retains possession. Here's Bowen. Bowen trying to make something happen, but it's saved by Handy. Jack Radsville is still out from a concussion suffered earlier this season. Sam Bowen has done well in his tenure as starter, the freshman.
Dutchman also without senior Liam Cunningham tonight.
Great play there from Braden Blackburn. I'm sure we'll see a lot of him today on the defensive side. Nice shot taken there from the other man, Michael Mann.
Nice save by Handy and a great distribution there out of the goal.
Sam Bowen has done very well while Jack Radsville has been injured. In the game against Illinois Wesleyan, he scored his first goal this season with 3:18 left in the fourth quarter. Made the game 9-8. Talk about a clutch goal for a young player. Here's the offense for the Scarlet Hawks. Enter line. Goes behind the net. Here's Iano Porter. Back to enter line. Tangeman coming off of a strong game against Cornell. He's going to take a shot, and that, I believe, will go down as a save.
Looks like we have a broken stick down on the field. The ref can move, that's for sure.
He's got wheels. A lot of athleticism we've seen so far on the field tonight, Austin.
All over the field.
Nice defense from Hope.
Good forced turnover there.
Here's Blancato. Look at man here, running with a lot of speed. Sets up behind the X. Here's Bowen. Making a substitution, and comes Alex Goodall. Here's Cunnington. With a nice move. Cunnington trying to make something happen. Just off. Nice play there from Mann.
Ooh, and a big hit there.
Yeah.
He'll feel that one in the morning.
Finds himself on the carpet. Nice big hit there. Hope, looking to make something happen early. And there
Oh,
it
first
is.
goal. Let's go.
The first goal of the game for the Dutch.
Goal scored by number
Zach
8,
Wiggins.
Zach Wiggins.
Wiggins been putting a lot of points on the stat sheet so far this season, Austin. That continues early in this game.
Yeah, that's his 10th goal of the season. It's been a great season so far. That's 11 points on the season, including assists.
Yeah, Wiggins, the senior, plays both attack and midfield. And he has been absolutely essential to the Dutch's run so far this year. Just the face-off. Looks like we're going to have another illegal procedure. Illinois wins. Austin, today this is not a conference game for either teams.
Yeah, these are the games you usually have at the beginning of the season to get you warmed up and ready for the conference. That's when it all matters.
Illinois Tech comes from the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference, the NACC, not to be confused with the NCAA.
A mistake may have been made earlier today about that.
We won't say who made that mistake.
Definitely wasn't me, that's for sure.
Here are the Scarlet Hawks, as you can tell by their scarlet uniforms. And that shot's off. Taken by Spencer Meese. It's Jackson Brass. There's an unforced turnover there, something that the Scarlet Hawks will be looking to limit today. A lot of players on the Scarlet Hawks team, first-year players, in their last game against Cornell, a majority of points were actually scored by those first-year players, so a lot of potential for this young team.
Yeah, you got to give props to the coach there and his recruiting methods because something seems to be working.
Here's the Dutch back on offense.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Here's Bowen. Goes out to McCreary. That's a turnover on Hope. The Dutch going to be looking to limit those unforced turnovers today. Something that Coach Scannels has been preaching all year is to have good possession.
Here's Brass again.
Brass had 2 goals in the season opener against Cornell.
Good save.
Yeah. Nice shot there, got some separation, but saved. The Dutch have cleared successfully.
And the Hawks' equipment is falling all over the place. We have a cleat on the field, broken sticks on the field.
A tough day so far for the equipment.
Unfortunately, we don't have the privilege of an equipment manager here in the D3 world.
Here's the Dutch successfully clearing. Here's Mann. Of course, the Mann brothers, well known for being skilled players. We'll say their names a lot tonight. Hope once again looking to initiate offense from behind the net. Zbera. Thinking about using some patience. Not too much D there. He gets a wide open shot.
Great goal. Take it yourself, why don't you?
You can see the patience there. Defender was nowhere to be seen, and that is a quick 2-0 lead for the Flying Dutch.
Yeah, that's a great goal there. Barrett obviously waited for his moment, and as soon as he saw it, he took it.
That is the first goal of the season for Brian Barra.
Yeah, but 4 assists, so he's obviously been relevant in the offensive game.
And you can see on that play, Austin, a lot of patience, just waiting to see what the defenseman would do. He saw a hole, some space, maneuvered to the right spot, and had a great shot. It's back in the net.
Yeah, you love to see that type of confidence from your seniors. That's what makes them special.
Here's Cole Scheffler, winning the face-off for the Dutch. John Mark Torrance in the game, sophomore.
Here's Bowen.
Bowen, freshman from Forest Hills, prestigious lacrosse program. And once again, we've said it before on this broadcast today already, but Bowen having a strong showing in these couple games, while I hope do miss Radsville. Here's James Conlon, another freshman.
Go.
Zach Wiggins. Wiggins looking to make something happen. Good defense there from the Scarlet Hawks. Conlon takes a shot and it bounces. That's off.
It's off the Hawks, it looks like. Looks like Hope keeps the ball there. And a quick turnaround shot. Ooh, blocked.
That's going to sting in the morning, Austin.
Yo,
and another goal.
Another goal, wow. When it rains, it pours, my friend.
It does. James Conlon, freshman from the Hill Academy, Grand Rapids, Michigan, scores his first goal of the night, and Hope is out to a quick and resounding 3-0 lead. This Illinois Tech team comes off of only one game this season where they won. They're being shell-shocked so far by the Flying Dutch, Austin.
Definitely not the start they wanted.
And I think it's worth noting, Hope comes in off of a disappointing loss. We'd expect to see a lot of energy from them all night.
Definitely looking to bounce back. A revenge game, as they call it.
Here's Scheffler. So far, 7 shots on goal for the Dutch compared to 2 for Illinois. And the Fogo man makes it happen.
Oh,
He might take it all the way.
taking himself. Oh, it goes in. What? I'm not sure what just happened.
Does that count?
The team is excited.
Do we have a goal?
Oh, we have a goal, I guess. It's on the
And how
scoreboard.
about that? Wow, I believe that is an unassisted goal for number 91, Cole Scheffler.
Takes it himself. Why don't you, big man?
And just when you thought the beginning of this game couldn't get any better for Hope, it does. The Fogo man with a big goal.
And the team is ecstatic for him.
Yeah, Cole Scheffler, one of those guys that's admired by the whole program. He's great at what he does. And great to see him get a goal there. Here's Blackburn, and Blackburn gets popped by number 15 for Illinois Tech. That's Yano Porter. But Hope's going to look to clear. Back to Blackburn. Here's David Brace, freshman from Plymouth. Here's Mann. Here's Brace. So far, Hope having their way on offense.
Oh, looking for that center spot there. That was a great play.
Yeah, Michael Mann was wide open right in front of the goalie. Pass just a little bit off, but a great look there for the Dutch. They've had a lot of success so far on offense, and this Illinois Tech team seems to be a little confused defensively. Here's Wiggins.
Illinois Tech will be looking for some sort of momentum change here. They need something to change the game a bit.
Brace going to shoot it. He was feeling himself there with that rip, but nothing doing. Looks like ball will stay with the Dutch.
Here's Bowen, lightning fast. And right in front of the goal. Goal.
That.
Well done. Looks like he got hit from behind there. Might see a penalty there.
Yeah, it's a tough hit at the end of that play. We might have a foul call. We'll see. But how about that? It's the second time they went for number 43, Michael Mann, right down there in the paint, to use a basketball term. And that was as easy as it comes right there.
Yeah, we'll have to look for something to change here for the Hawks. They're debating something down in front of the goal because something will need to change, or it's going to be a long night for them.
Yeah, absolutely. If the game continues like this, we might have a blowout on our hands. But in lacrosse, as we know, it can be a very streaky sport, so I hope we'll look to continue playing hard. Here's Bowen. Bowen already getting an assist on that last play on the pass to Mann. And I think the story of the game so far, Austin, is Hope looking very good and aggressive on offense. Illinois Tech looking a little confused.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you there. Hope has been extremely dynamic, and I'm looking forward to the rest of this game. This will be a statement win for them, it's looking like.
Yeah, of course, Hope coming off of a disappointing loss. Before that, they had a very impressive win against Illinois Wesleyan. Shot taken there, a nice save for Handy from Scarlet Hawks. Andy, a junior hailing from California. He played at St. Margaret's Episcopal in Dana Point, California.
That is somewhere I have never been.
Me either, Austin. Great analysis. Oh, look at that shot there. What a beautiful goal.
Wow.
Absolutely disgusting there from Brian Barra.
Wow, he picked that corner with a toothpick.
Wow. And Brian Barra having himself a night already. That's his second goal. His first 2 goals of the season, Austin. And Hope has 11 shots on goal so far, putting 6 of those in the back of the net compared to Illinois Tech having a tough going so far. And it's just raining. It's pouring here for the Dodge.
It is pouring. It's not a drop in a bucket. It's a splash in a bucket. But this is what you like to see here. Hope taking advantage of more than just their starters here, especially in a game that they've been dominant in. And this is where we get to find out who can be critical later in the season. This is a chance that every player looks forward to.
Yeah, always interesting to see these games where teams come from different conferences to see how it's going to pan out, because normally you don't know the other team very well.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking from former soccer days, sometimes the out-of-conference games can be the toughest games on the schedule, and sometimes they're not. And we see a bit of that here today, but either way, great competition and great learning moments here for Hope.
There's 4:45 left. Until we take a break. There's the timeout here at Van Andel Stadium. Once again, thank you all for joining us tonight. I'm Matt Roblin, joined by Austin Cortez. Austin, any stats sticking out to you so far tonight?
Yeah, I'm just going to have to look at the shot comparison, and quite honestly, it's pretty obvious. But Hope 16, Illinois Tech 3, and that's just been the story of this game, that Hope has been dominant offensively, and we'll see if that continues here after the timeout. We'll see if the Scarlet Hawks may have recollected anything after that.
So far, face-offs have been pretty good for the Dutch, but the commentator's curse there, won by the Scarlet Hawks. Harassing D down low.
Turnover there
from the Dutch,
yeah, great turnover there caused by number 32.
Looking to clear. Nice move and speed there. That is number 36, Michael Milski. Wiggins taken down. And then another unforced turnover, it looks like, for Illinois Tech.
Bowen staying cool and collected there. That was a great play. Get that ball off from the ground.
Absolutely. Oh, here's Man. Man and Bowen so far being a lethal duo tonight for the Dutch.
That was Will Cunnington there, number 5.
Here's Blaine Hind. Back in the X. It's Cunnington.
Michael Mann keeps looking to cut into that center, that paint, if you will, in front of the goal. And it's been pretty dynamic so far. Let's see if the Hawks can stop it now.
Hope finding it easy to retain possession here.
Bowen wanted to take himself.
So far defensively, Illinois Tech has not been as aggressive as I expected. Here's Wiggins.
No one can pick up the ball there. Must be something on it.
Cunnington back to Wiggins. Wiggins trying to get some separation there. Nice D for number 29 for Illinois Tech. That's Seamus Keneally.
Let's see if they can clear here.
Absolutely. The Scarlet Hawks need to make something happen. Looking to clear. That is a successful clear. Good work from Richard Warner. We'll see if the Scarlet Hawks can manifest an offense.
An unforced turnover there.
Unforced turnover.
Ooh, they won't be happy about that pass there, Hope.
And we know that's something that this Hope program is looking to limit all season, is unforced turnovers, to try to have good possession. So far tonight they've done well. That they're not what Coach Channels is looking for.
Definitely not. The turnover margin right now is 8-3. Illinois Tech has 8 and Hope has 3.
And that was part of the story of the game against Illinois Wesleyan Austin, is that in the first half when they were down 4, they had a lot of unforced turnovers. They struggled with possession. The second half, they really improved that, played more aggressive offensively, and then ended up with the win. So this Hope team, when they maintain good possession, play patient, play aggressive, they are a very tough team to beat.
Another forced turnover there.
Yeah, Hope defensively just all over it tonight.
Definitely, and they are 7 for 7 on clears right now. So.
Wow, yeah. It's a great number.
And that transition offense is huge for any lacrosse team. Being able to come out of your own half and be dynamic immediately catches the defense off guard.
Come on, Merritt. Okay, Merritt.
Here's Merritt Archer.
Takes it himself.
Come on, unassisted. Dude, he's grown.
Another unassisted goal there.
Wow.
College Flying Dutchman, number
Is that
1.
Archer's first of the season? Yeah.
I think so. I think you'd be right there.
Looks like that is the first of the season for Merritt Archer. Merritt Archman, a freshman from Muskegon, Michigan, getting some playing time already early in this game, and makes use of it with a nice goal there. That is Archer's first point of the season. A lot of turnovers so far for Scarlet Hawks. That's not what they want to see, of course, but they get a chance here for a clear.
There's a clear. Brass with the ball.
Brass scored 2 in their last game. We'll see if he can get something on offense. 7 of the 9 goals scored by the Scarlet Hawks in their last game all came from first-year players. So a lot of young, talented players on this team.
Yeah, and maybe that's part of what we're seeing here is the experience versus inexperience. The Hawks would definitely get their feet under them as the season keeps going, and you can see it here. That's a great goal there. Yeah.
And that is the first goal of the game for Illinois Tech. That is scored by Spencer Meese, Jr. from Connecticut.
For the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks, number 20, Spencer Meese.
I don't think you said anything.
That is his first goal on the season.
Did you hear him? You didn't say anything about him.
Goal for the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks, number 20, Spencer Meese.
Yeah, first goal for Spencer.
I didn't hear an echo.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
Shot clock turns off automatically after a minute.
Yep.
In Illinois Tech's last game,
They're gonna tell you
they
to turn
lost
it back on.
the majority of the faceoffs, even though they won. In that game, Cornell won 14 of the 19 faceoffs. So far, Hope has done well on that end, but it's been relatively close.
Automatically shuts off after a minute. In the event of a penalty right now, we'll put it down to 48 seconds.
There seems to be some sort of issue here.
It automatically
Technical
shuts
difficulty,
off
if you will.
after-
Seems to be sorted now.
Okay, well, you don't heat it.
Is that that shot clock question again? Does the shot clock turn?
They usually just don't heat it.
Looks like maybe an issue with the shot clock here at Van Andel.
I'm surprised I
We're back to action.
And Cole Scheffler again. Winning.
Yeah. Nice
Ooh.
to see there.
Oh, Cole Scheffler letting him know that he is there and he is very present.
Scheffler, one of those players that everyone loves on this team. It's been a scramble for the ball here, just begging to be picked up by somebody.
Somebody pick up the ball. Nobody wants it.
A lot of action here. 17 seconds until we take a break. Thank you to all those who've joined us tonight. 5 seconds left, and the Hope defense is all over the Scarlet Hawks. That is the story of this game.
And they look like fish that just threw fish food in the pond.
Came out with a little more energy here.
1 second and an attempted shot. There's nothing doing there. The score is 7-1 for the Flying Dutch, who came out guns a-blazing tonight at Van Andel. I'm Matt Roblin, joined by Austin Cortez. Before we go to a break, Austin, anything you want to comment on so far in this game?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm curious to see how the Scarlet Hawks will come out of this little break here. They're obviously talking to Coach. Coach will have more than a few words to say to them on how they can get back into this game, but it's not over. They got a goal. Hopefully they can carry some momentum into the next break. So
All right, we will be back shortly. Once again, thank you for joining us. This is Lacrosse at Van Andel. All right, welcome back to Van Andel. I hope you enjoyed your short break from us, but we are back already. Dutch win the face-off. Here's the man.
Cole Scheffler with another face-off win there. He is now 5 for 6. It's a great day for him.
Yeah, Scheffler, well known as a great Fogo guy. He's also won Defensive Player of the Week honors in the MIAA already this year. I imagine we'll see a lot more of Hope initiating offense from the X. Here's man. And so far, it's been a good game for the Dutch. They maintained possession. They've had a few unforced turnovers, but it's been a pretty strong showing all around, Austin.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you there. Ooh.
Shot taken there. I believe that was Samuel Hainsley. Possession is retained by Illinois Tech. They're going to look to clear. Here's Brock Melanson. Melanson, another freshman, and another player on this Illinois Tech team that hails from California. This team is made of people from all over the country, including Wisconsin, Indiana, California, New Jersey, Ohio, Connecticut, and also, as we see a wonderful goal there.
Looked like that was Brass.
Scored by Brass, the freshman from Sierra Canyon.
Another place I have not been. So, just like that, all of a sudden, it's a lot closer than it was 2 minutes ago.
Yeah. While I was blabbering about where everyone was from, a nice goal was scored there from Illinois Tech. And that makes this game 7-2. That momentum boost definitely needed for the Scarlet Hawks team, which has struggled. We'll see if they can continue to press. But once again, a face-off won by the Dutch. They've been dominating as of late in that category against this team. Here's Wiggins. Can't say enough about Scheffler and how well he's done so far this season.
Yeah, and off Scheffler in those face-offs, Hope is currently 7 for 10, so a good start for them so far in the face-off category.
Yeah, those are great numbers. Here's Michael Mann. Blaine Hind, excuse me.
And Will Cunnington now, driving fast.
Here's Bowen. Thinks about it. We're going to see a shot here.
Ooh, good save.
Taken by Eli Van Singel from Zeeland. Nice save there by Zane Handy.
Yep, and this is where we will see if the Scarlet Hawks can clear. This is where they've been struggling today so far. And a good clear there. Brass checking in to get the ball from his defenseman. Oh, and a great move there.
Look at Jackson Brass trying to make something happen. He scored the last goal, looking to make something happen again there, but the Dutch negate that opportunity.
Ooh, Looking like a turnover there, yep.
Yep, turnover for the Dutch. Not what the coach and the team want to see.
Let's see what kind of offense the Scarlet Hawks here. This is the first time I really seen them with possession in our half.
Yeah, not much possession for the Scarlet Hawks. You're absolutely right, Austin. So it's been a little hard to gauge their offensive style so far. We've got something going on the field. It's my expert analysis. I'm not entirely sure what just happened. Here's Spencer Meese, who scored a goal earlier.
He wants a second one.
And Austin, you were telling me at break how Spencer Meese has been carrying a lot of the stats so far.
Yeah, I was surprised to not see him start the second quarter here. He had 3 of the team's 4 shots and 2 of their shots on target. 2 of their 3 shots on target. So definitely a great start for him. And we'll look to see if the Scarlet Hawks look to him more.
Another turnover there, and that's unfortunately been one of the stories of the game for Illinois Tech. They have been sloppy with the ball. And that's not something you can afford to do against this Flying Dutch team, which is playing very aggressive and quick and fast. They're just begging for those opportunities.
Yeah, that's 11 on the night for them.
11 turnovers already. Not a good stat at all. Illinois Tech will look to keep pushing forward as Hope has possession. There's man. Bowen. Bowen with a nice pass out there.
Ooh, great look there, but a great save. Ooh.
Yeah. Man fighting hard.
Yeah,
Yep.
the keeper wound up and swung like a bat. I've never seen that before.
Yes, he cannot do that. Yep, that penalty is going to be on the goalie, and we are going to see a man-up opportunity for the Dutch.
I'm not sure I've ever seen a penalty on a goalie like that. That was...
I got a little aggressive there. Can't do that.
Hey, as a former goalie myself, I say we are a special breed, so...
Well, not everyone is built like you, Austin Cortez, unfortunately.
That is true. So Hope goes a man up here. We'll see.
Yeah.
They actually have a 25% conversion rate on their man up possession, so we'll see if they can better that here.
Spencer Meese will serve the penalty. Here's the Dutch man-up opportunity. It's something they struggled with in their last game, where they lost to Oberlin. They were only 1 of 6 on these opportunities. Here's man. Wiggins. Going to generate a good offensive luck pick set there by Wiggins. A shot. Look at that.
3 from 18.
How about that?
The opposite of the commentator's curse right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Austin. Jonathan Mann and his brother, Michael Mann, with a little bit of brotherly chemistry there.
We've seen that one before, and they've seen it before on the practice field, that's for sure.
Of course, Jonathan Mann, the senior, Michael Mann, the sophomore, both revered around these parts as great guys and very talented lacrosse players.
Definitely, we're glad to have them here at Hope College. Here comes Hope again.
Back to Michael Mann. Here's David Brace. Bowen. Brace. Might see a shot here, and that is a goal. Wow, Flying Dutch just everywhere tonight. I believe that is Jonathan Mann with another goal tonight.
And once again, we will hear the famous Timmy Trumpet song, Party Till We Die, here at Van Andel Stadium for the 9th time tonight.
We have heard that song quite a bit tonight, Austin. You're absolutely right. David Brace gets an assist. And Austin, Illinois Tech looks like they can't really compete with the speed and quickness of this aggressive Hope offense. And it's 9-2. They scored that goal to open up quarter, but since then, nothing doing.
The ref just took a bullet from the face-off. He still seems to be striding out pretty well. I think he's all right.
The ref with one of the best strides of the night. Look at that form.
If I didn't know any better, I think he was competing in the Olympics.
Here's Reed Tangeman.
Set timer 45 minutes.
Tangeman had a goal, an assist, 2 ground balls, and caused a turnover in their last game.
Here's Brass. See if he looks to take it again. It looks like he might. Oh,
Yeah, Brass already scored a goal. Nice strong offense there, and heck of that. A nice goal scored by number 23, I believe.
Garrett Fragnoli.
No, that is the Hope College player.
Oh, my apologies. That would be correct.
Yes, Juan Bajorquez, and Bajorquez hails from Bogota, Colombia. You mentioned earlier, one of the players on this team that makes this team just unique in how it's composed. They have a lot of players coming from different parts of the country, and then also international with Bajorquez.
Almost gonna have like 10 plus GBs.
Look at Man here with a lot of speed.
If he makes a save, or he stops a shot, he doesn't control it, and there's traffic, and picks it up, then it's ground ball too.
Oof. Look at the ball fake there. That was a beautiful move.
That's a spin move if I've ever seen one.
Sam Bowen, the freshman, is showing quite a bit of dexterity tonight. He's quick, fast, and he's got some moves.
Yeah, like his roll.
Looked to be a foul on the field. I'm not sure on who.
30 seconds.
So low to the ground that it's hard to get turned.
Austin, I used to play lacrosse in high school. I can tell you I can never do a move like that. My ankles would be broken.
There's a reason we're in the press box and not on the field.
That is correct. Hope retains possession.
Matt Roby here, reigning from South Bend, Indiana.
I'm not from South Bend, Indiana. That's incorrect. Shot is wide by Zach Wiggins.
Well, you're now from South Bend, Indiana, so tell us about your high school experiences there playing lacrosse. Oh, and a goal for Hope.
Goal.
15 from 21.
Wow. There we have. Oh, we got a penalty at the end of the play. What happened here, Austin?
It looked like maybe the goalie was having some words with the ref. I'm not sure what else.
We'll see what the call is here.
Called it a push. 30 seconds.
It looks like a push.
Yeah. So that'll be a 30-second penalty, and he's upset with the call.
Yes. Yeah. I'm so
Wow.
Look at him.
So Hope now outnumbering the Scarlet Hawks 6-4 on the field.
Yeah, this is going to be a hard situation here for Illinois Tech. They'll need to have some good rotations defensively to ward off this.
Yeah, we're about to see a wall go up. We'll see if he can keep the offense out. Ref explaining himself to the Scarlet Hawks coach here.
Yeah, Dan Charbon, his 3rd season for the Scarlet Hawks. He just wants an explanation, it looks like.
So if he's arguing that we should have a goal, he should have a penalty.
So it looks like there's no goal called for that. But instead, we'll have this man-up opportunity. See if the Dutch can take advantage, and they do.
Oh, as they say in sports, the ball does not lie.
Brian Barra with a hat trick already tonight. For a man who hasn't scored yet in any of Hope's games, he's coming out with a statement tonight.
Yeah, and this goes back to that comment I made earlier about seeing what kind of players you have outside of your starters. Lacrosse, obviously, a game where more than just the starters play, more so than basketball can be. But you're really running deep in the bench here, and Hope playing almost their whole roster at this point and producing some great results against the Hawks here.
Yeah, Barra, a senior from Rockford, Michigan, having himself quite a day. Hope winning another face-off, Austin. I don't know what the numbers are. I know you're our statistician for the night, but Hope is dominating on that end.
They are 10 of 14 since I'm the numbers guy.
Yeah, we got a whole team over here designated to one guy, Austin Cortez, with stats. Another shot there for the Dutch. That's Wiggins just off.
It's too bad I don't have the stats on Matt Roby's place of origin.
That is unfortunate. You meant to say Indianapolis, not South Bend.
That's exactly what I meant to say. The two, everything in Indiana just kind of blends together. I don't know what to say about that.
I would disagree strongly with that take. Here's a man. Little ball fake. Try to do a skip pass. Nothing doing. And possession, awarded to Scarlet Hawks.
Interesting move there from Brass. I've seen that one in soccer before. They tried to flick the ball through with his heel there.
Creative move indeed. Excuse me. Here's Reed Tangeman. Tangeman with a nice little move. He's going to take a shot, but it is saved there. Ian Bosman in goal currently. Senior from Centennial, Colorado. And Austin, we got another call on the field here.
And it'll be Hawks ball.
Okay. Hawks take possession.
And the Hope defense is looking to get adjusted here. They're down a man currently due to a sub error. But okay, now their numbers are correct. They have 6 on defense now.
Dwyer had all the space in the world, but he couldn't convert on the shot there.
That's definitely not what he was looking for, but got to commend him for taking the opportunity.
Yeah, Illinois Tech fighting hard here. It's been a tough game. They'll look to even up that score a little bit. There's Backus.
Ty Dwyer with a fallback fadeaway ground shot.
Yeah, looking like Kobe Bryant there, nothing doing. Nice pass by the Dutch. Sam Bowen trying to use that speed, makes a nice pass.
Oh, and
halfway on the ground, but
bullet.
saved. Yeah, bullet of a shot, but it gets right in the net of Handy.
Shot from Ramo Blancato.
Illinois Tech, successful clear that time. Here's Tangeman.
Here's Yano Porter.
Illinois Tech trying to get something going offensively, trying to initiate some offense, but they've been struggling throughout the course of the night.
Yeah, they just look a bit stagnant. Oh, that's not what Hope College wants there. And you can see the frustration. Coach has his hands on his head, and so does the rest of the bench, I think.
Yeah. That's one of those things that Coach Channels is preaching to the team, is to maintain good possession, and that every possession counts, Austin, especially in some of these close games they have this season. Can't afford to have mistakes like that. Still early in the season for this Dutch team. They're currently 2-1. A lot of season left.
Obviously, and they're definitely glad to be back. You know, an interesting season last season, especially with the COVID dynamics, but it's great to have the sports back and have fans back and move into a stage of being maskless.
You say dynamics?
Dynamics. I'm just inventing things left and right here tonight.
That's a great word, Austin, and the shot is taken just off. Who's that? Yano Porter. Tangeman trying to make something happen, but there is quite a few Dutch there, and that is going to be a call.
That's going to be a trip.
Yep.
That's a minute-long penalty. That's big for the Scarlet Hawks. Let's see if they can take this opportunity here.
Yeah, great opportunity with this man-up situation. Make something happen. Yano Porter, who we just called on the last possession, he had 3 goals in their last game. He's one of their top goal scorers. Maybe they can get him going.
Pretty quiet game so far. No shots or shots on goal yet, so we'll see what happens here with the man-up opportunity.
Porter, another one of their freshmen, he hails from Massachusetts. That's a fun word to say. Here's Tangeman. Out to Dwyer. Dwyer thinks about it, makes a nice pass. Skip pass tried there, but it's deflected. Good D there from Blackburn. As you said, Austin, the Scarlet Hawks could really use a goal in this man-up scenario. Trying to initiate some offense. Good D, good defensive rotation so far from the Dutch.
Yeah, we saw the Hope come back in their last game in a 6-2 deficit, and we're not too far from that now for the Hawks, so we'll see what happens as this game moves forward.
Good defense from the likes of Garrett Fragnoli. Dwyer's going to take a shot. It looks like it went off of a helmet. Possession stays with the Scarlet Hawks. We got a shot clock violation. So nothing to do in there for Illinois Tech. Just a lot of really good defensive rotations. That's a good sign for the Dutch.
Definitely. Great defense there in the moment, man down like that.
Nice clear there from LSM. Carter Hitchcock, Jr. from Carmel, Indiana. Played at Culver Military Academy. Being from Indiana, I can say that Culver Military Academy is a very scary program to go up against. Shot taken there, but it's a little high and a little wide. Bowen trying to make a lot happen at once. Maintains possession even though he falls on his own move. Here's Wiggins. Wiggins a dynamic scorer, as Austin mentioned earlier. Man. Excuse me, that's not man. That is Nick McCreary. McCreary from Rockford, Michigan, another freshman. Wiggins. Nice move.
Ooh.
Tries a little bouncer there, but no luck.
Hope will keep the ball, but only 6 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yep, 3 seconds left. They're going to need to make something happen. It's going to be a shot right now, and it's just off.
It was quick. I'm surprised he got that shot off in time.
In the game against Illinois Wesleyan, there was a great goal, Mike Mann, off of Sam Bowen, and they only had 1 second left on the shot clock. Not the same result that time.
As they say in basketball, this is March, correct?
It is March, Austin Cortez. That is correct. Blackburn with some good D, and here's Bowen. Bowen's going to give it out to Wiggins.
Ooh, Wiggins with a
got all
one-on-one.
the time in the world, but it's just off. And you know Wiggins wanted that one in the back.
Yeah,
of the
he
net.
did.
Yeah.
He saw the goal, and he saw the goalie, and he saw a lot more goal than goalie, and got excited.
Looks like we're going to have a timeout on the field here.
So, Matt Roby, tell us about your high school lacrosse days. What was that like? What do you see here on the field as an ex-player?
Well, you know, I didn't actually play lacrosse until 10th grade. I grew up in Canada, in the Toronto area, and I played a lot of street hockey. I was never a great skater. Moved to Indianapolis, and I picked up lacrosse because it was kind of similar to hockey. So it was a bit of a transition for me. I enjoyed playing the sport for 3 years in high school. In this game, I mean, I don't think you necessarily need a lacrosse background to know that Hope is just dominating Illinois Tech on all fronts. They're playing quick, strong. They seem more confident. Illinois Tech, a little slow in their defensive rotations. They're just getting beat really on all ends. And possession has been notable. Dutch have had the ball for feels like the entire game. You know, Illinois Tech having 3 goals in this game is honestly not bad for the amount of possession that they have had. So it's been a rough game for Illinois Tech, but always in these, as we said earlier, when you play a team from the side in the same conference from you, it can either be very difficult or it can be easier than expected. And a lot of times you just don't know a ton about the team you're playing. So far, it's been a rough game for Illinois Tech, but Still time left to make a comeback, or at least get some traction, make it more even. And for the Dutch, they're going to look to give more players playing time and continue to work. It's only the 4th game of the season, so trying to maximize opportunities, make every possession count, not have sloppy turnovers, keep the offense running well. Yeah.
Well said.
Thank you. I need a sip of my water after that long monologue. Sorry for all you at home that have to listen to us all night. Thanks
Sorry
again for joining us.
You know, sometimes we get reminiscing, and it's just hard to get out of that past. But expert analysis from my friend here, Matt Roby.
Thank you, Austin Cortez. I appreciate it. Austin and I met in Voorhees Hall. I was his RA back in the day. He was one of the only kids on the floor that wasn't a troublemaker.
And now here we are, causing trouble on a live stream, huh?
Would you look at that? Illinois Tech trying to make something happen, but the ball's going to go back to Hope. I think I might have been one of the troublemakers as the RA, but that's confidential information. Here is Hope trying to make something happen. Dutch up 10-3. 50 seconds left until we take another break here.
The shot clock is off, ladies and gentlemen. This is the moment.
Shots on goal, 20 for Hope, 8 for Illinois Tech. Here's man. Sam Bowen, the quick freshman, trying to make something happen. Deflection there. Retained by Hope. Here's Wiggins. 25 seconds.
I thought Wiggins was going to shoot that one for sure.
Well, ball retained by the Dutch. They've got about 10 seconds left. Need to get a shot off quick.
Man takes it himself.
Oh, great look here. And a nice save. Zane Hamdy. Nice save to finish off this first half.
A great save. And he launches it.
Yep. Hey, shooters shoot. All right, and that about sums up this first half. I think we've...
Oh, he's going to try it again.
Yep. Nothing doing there, but you got to commend the effort. It is 10-3 here in favor of the Flying Dutch. This is Van Andel Soccer Stadium. I think we've articulated a lot of our feelings about this first half. Austin, is there anything else you want to say before we go to break?
Honestly, not much. As you said earlier in your monologue, dominance by the Dutchmen so far, and we'll look forward to some adjustments from the Hawks here in the second half.
All right. For Matt Robo and Austin Cortez, we will join you again after halftime. Thank you for all of us for joining us. This is intra-conference play here at Van Andel.
With 40 acres of natural beauty close to downtown Holland, the farmstead has a little bit of everything for active seniors. Except you may never want to leave your home. With a modern no-step floor plan to serve your needs for years to come, you'll forget how much there is to do around here. So here goes. Want to go over that again? Visit thefarmstead.org. With 40 acres of natural beauty close to downtown Holland, the farmstead has a little bit of everything for active seniors. Except you may never want to leave your home. With a modern no-step floor plan to serve your needs for years to come, you'll forget how much there is to do around here. So here goes. Want to go over that again? Visit thefarmstead.org.
And what we're imagining now, as we look out to the future, is not just a tweak to the old system. We're imagining an entirely new system. In a Hope Forward model, every student who comes through the doors of Hope College would have their tuition 100% covered.
We know it wasn't what you expected. An entire year filled with uncertainty, confusion, doubt, and tension. There was loss. There was pain. We all felt the fear and the grief. An entire year wondering, is this the new normal? Will everything be all right? Yet, it was also a year filled with determination, community, innovation, and resilience. When it seemed like all was lost, we found ourselves gaining new gifts, perspectives, and purpose. We found a new appreciation for a stranger's smile, stayed connected even from afar. We had time to learn something new or revisit an old love. This year reminded us to cherish our unity, our identity, rooted in Christ as we welcome an undefined future together. And so, we return. Return to pushing the limits of human knowledge, pushing ourselves to unknown potential, to shared passions, pursuing wisdom, and passing on traditions. We're returning to wonder, to worship, to a world where hope has a new meaning. And though it was never really gone, hope is back. And hope changes everything.
Welcome back to Van Andel Stadium. We hope that you enjoyed your break. We are back here. It is currently 10-3 for the Dutch. Welcome back to the second half. Once again, I'm Matt Roblin, joined by Austin Cortez, who barely made it back in time for the second half. Thankfully, he's got some quick feet.
There's a former athlete in me somewhere, huh?
Somewhere.
I will say, though, that the fall spring is over. There were gentlemen huddling in the men's room like penguins in the Antarctic. It was almost like a scene from Planet Earth, if you will.
Great work so far on this first possession from the Dutch. Good D, and they get the ball back on a clear. It is indeed cold outside, so a little added element to this game. Here's Wiggins' little spin move. Nice D there. That is number 29 for the Scarlet Hawks, Seamus Canale from St. Louis, Missouri. Used to go to Christian Brothers College. There's Sam Bowen, little screen there. Goes back to man with a quick move. But D's there. We'll see what adjustments the Scarlet Hawks made at halftime. Particularly on the defensive end, where they spent most of their time. They've struggled a bit. We'll see if they up the ante.
They're definitely initially looking much more disciplined off the start.
Agreed. In that first half, we saw the quick attackmen of the Dutch easily get around the X. So far, exactly as you said, Austin, looking a little more disciplined.
Keep our eyes on, goal there.
Pass by Bowen. And that is Jonathan Mann with another goal. And little commentator's curse there just when we praised the Scarlet Hawks defense. A goal gets scored on the minutes, number 11 of the night for the Dutch. They are putting on an offensive clinic.
Yeah, and that's number 2 for Jonathan Mann. A great night for him so far.
Of course, Jonathan Mann, it's been well documented a senior, great leader for this program. A role model for a lot of these guys. When his younger brother came in as a freshman and started making waves, he always took it the best way that he could. Always just a leader for him. Great guy, great locker room guy, and also a great player. You can't understate the value of him on the field as well. So
Definitely, they'll have a bit of a competition tonight. Who'll see who can score the most goals. They're currently tied, so we'll see how that ends up.
yes, the Mann brothers putting in work as always. Hope wins another face-off. And coming down with some speed.
Off they go to the races.
Here's Bowen. Bowen thought about it. He's going to take a shot. Deflected there. And look at Bowen with some nice work there.
Attackman who?
Little hockey play. Wiggins back to Bowen.
Bowen looking calm and composed behind the net here.
Bowen has really taken his opportunity this season in stride. He's looked really good when Radville's been out. Hope, of course, excited for Radville to come back as he's an offensive juggernaut, but great to see the talent this Bowen kid has.
Great ground ball pickup here.
Here's Cunnington. Cunnington's going to take this shot.
He put that on a
Ripped it.
string. Oh, my gosh.
You can hear the people in the press box encouraging him to shoot. You can see why. He rips the back of the net there. That's his first goal of the night. That will be the second goal of the year, I believe, for Will Cunnington. And the coaches love it. Getting a lot of love down there on the bench. The senior midfielder from Phoenix, Arizona. Great to see a goal scored there for one of the vets on this team.
And Hope by no means letting off the gas here to start this half.
Yeah, and you love to see that. Here's man. Wiggins. Wiggins is going to take a shot.
My.
And I believe Wiggins.
Oh, my.
My goodness. Wiggins goes 5-hole. Yeah, that was pretty nasty.
Yeah, I'm kind of awestruck. I don't even know what to say.
Wiggins, assisted by number 18, Jonathan Mann.
That is his 11th goal this season?
I think you'd be correct, yeah. He cannot be put out right now. He is on fire.
Wiggins Sr. hails from Kalamazoo. He's had a great season so far, and he continues to produce at the elite level. Here's Bowen. Bowen's so shaky and shifty. Takes a shot. Hope's going to stay with it. Here's Michael Mann. Mann, always quick. David Brace.
There's Bowen again.
Yeah. Hope looking to initiate offense still from the X. Seen a lot of picks set.
As they say, don't fix what ain't broke.
Absolutely, and it is not broke tonight. Here's Mike Mann. Mann with a sneaky little shot, but it's saved by Andy. And there is a turnover for the Dutch. It's taken by, I believe, Spencer Meese. That is Spencer Meese trying to clear it, and an unforced turnover.
And the Dutchman bench is excited about that.
And you can see on the opposite bench deflation.
That's obviously part of Hope's game plan here, to press them on the turnover to see if they can force an unforced error during the clear. It's worked out great for the Dutchman tonight.
Great analysis, Mr. Cortez. Hope maintains possession here in the third quarter. Look at that nice move right there, trying to make something happen. Mann and Bowen have really commanded a lot of the offensive sets tonight, setting up other players, using their speed and quickness. Bowen out Wiggins thinks about it, and he takes a shot. Saved there by Andy. Whenever Wiggins winds up that stick to shoot, you got to be ready because he is a shooter.
Yep, I'd be getting out of the way, that's for sure.
We'll see if Illinois Tech can clear. They've struggled in this game.
Ooh, great play there.
Wow.
Oh, and he's not happy that.
Yeah. Man goes down hard.
Man does not look happy about that. He seems to be feeling it. Hopefully he's all right. Ooh, I know.
Hope needs to regroup. Little tempers flaring a little bit there, but Hope's still up 13-3 in this game.
Bowen seems to be walking off a little gingerly. We hope to see he's all right.
That's Man.
Sorry, Man. My apologies.
You're fired, Austin.
Yep, that's game over. Last time you'll hear Austin Cortez on a stream. I think you guys should be celebrating.
I hope that you guys at home are not sick of us yet. I appreciate the 109 of you currently watching. The 5 of you that liked our YouTube stream, we like you a little bit more.
Just a touch extra. Like a mom's favorite child, little extra. Just enough.
Here the Dutch. Once again generating. Look at that beautiful pass. And
Great switch. That's easy.
43 from 25.
And
we got a foul on the play.
And Man lets him know if you put him on the ground, he'll just score a goal on you. So.
Yeah.
And with that, Jonathan Mann takes the lead on the brother-to-brother scoring category.
A little friendly rivalry. We're going to see a timeout here. Hope increases their lead up 14-3. Shots on goal 27-8. That is Michael Mann. And Sam Bowen with an assist. So no commentators curse this time. We just praise them for all the offensive instigation they've done tonight. They continue to do so. 11-point margin.
This thing doesn't work.
Did you ever have any games like this in high school, Matt Roby, where maybe it wasn't exactly going your way? How do you regroup at a timeout like this?
It can be hard. I mean, I think just for, all athletes at some point when you're a competitor and you're a competitive person and you just know the other team has your number, it can be tough to push through a game like this. Got to keep pressing, trying to make something happen. Not let up. For leaders on the team, it's really important to step up and show what your program is all about. Lead by example. Keep fighting. Keep your heads up. And for Illinois Tech, of course, they can lean on the fact that, as we mentioned before, they have a lot of young talent. They're still developing. In lacrosse, of course, it can be a very streaky sport compared to some other sports where you can go on 5-6 goal runs in a very quick amount of time. In a game like this, the way the momentum has been, the way the possession is, you don't really expect that to happen. I don't think there's any miracle workers out there, for the Scarlet Hawks that can single-handedly overcome this margin. But you just keep fighting and pushing. And it's still early in the season, but at the same time, you address the mistakes, and hopefully you're a little bitter after this because that makes you get better. So.
Yep, definitely agree. And it looks like our linesman has had enough watching. He is laying up and looking at the stars. I'm not sure. Oh, he's awake now. He's back.
He's back up. Someone's taking a nap there on the field. All right. Face-off won there by the Dutch.
Wiggins stripped there.
Oh, my goodness.
Please, sir, have a seat.
Max Zimmerman, the junior, making some magic happen. Here's Wiggins. Wiggins, as we know, a scorer.
Wiggins getting
the ground.
Clattered.
Yeah, a lot of D there. Here's Cunnington, senior, scored in this game already. It was good to see him score.
Here's Man again. Oh,
Man.
Great switch there.
Oh, nice ball fake.
Ooh, a little bit of juice, a little bit of jakes, a little bit of everything. Making up words, making up times. Let's celebrate a little bit.
Austin Cortez, he doesn't even know what to say after that goal. Will Cunnington with the second of the night.
Tongue-tied with all that juice.
Tongue-tied, indeed.
It looks like the Scarlet Hawks had a change of goalkeeper. Number 30, Dominic Reed, is in goal.
Junior comes from Strasburg, Pennsylvania. get some time in this game.
As a keeper, you're always looking for that moment to shine and a moment to step in and make your own name for yourself. So we'll see what he can do here.
You know a little bit about that, Austin.
Yeah, I spent plenty of time on the bench, so definitely waited for that moment plenty of times.
Well, Austin not on the bench tonight, and neither is number 1, Merritt Archer, the freshman from Muskegon.
His second goal of the night, and not the way that Dominic Reed was looking to start the night, but I'm sure he'll bounce back.
Nice goal there from Archer. And I'm going to refrain from making any Archer shot comments because the score is 16-3. But regardless, that is a nice goal. Cherry on top for these guys. Get some young people involved. Get some of the seniors involved that don't normally log a ton of minutes. Max Zimmerman wins the face-off, and it's been a great night all night as far as face-offs go for the Dutch.
It's a pretty dominant stat night for the Dutchmen, as we mentioned. Currently, Hope up 14-13 on shots and 29-8 on shots on goal. Illinois Tech winning the stat sheet in saves, probably part in fact of the number of shots they've faced, but not a bad night for the Dutchmen at all.
Yeah, this is a good morale booster, absolutely, for the Dutch. Of course, we've mentioned it before on this broadcast. If you're a Dutch fan, you might be sick of us saying it, but the loss to Oberlin was tough. That was a game that they rallied and tried to win, but they did lose, and we see an offensive attack here. Here's Mann with a lot of separation, a great pass.
Great
in the
unselfish
middle.
play. Oh,
And
my.
that is just absolute textbook offense there.
Hookall Man, the server, he's serving up plates like he's a waiter.
Michael Mann with a dish served out to Zach Wiggins.
Hot and ready. Give him a little scissors pizza.
No comment. Great goal there for the Dutch. That is number 8, Zach Wiggins. I believe that is his 12th this season. Austin Cortez, a part-time broadcaster, part-time comedian. Thank you for bringing your talents with us in the booth tonight. I appreciate it.
What can we say? We have some fun here in the press box.
Absolutely. Thank you all for being engaged with us tonight. We especially appreciate the like count, which has doubled since our last comments. We thank you all for your attention and dedication to Hope Athletics. Taken there by, I believe that is Spencer Meese, who's been a shining star tonight in a lot of categories in what has been a tough game for Illinois Tech.
Yeah, Meese leading the team in shots and turnovers at the moment. So up and down night, but definitely good to see him on the offense and being dynamic up there.
Good clear there for Illinois Tech. Here's Meese. Scarlet Hawks looking to set up their offense. Let's see if they can initiate something here. Yano Porter, a bit of a tough game, getting some offensive looks. See if that'll change in the second half.
Here's Meese.
Meese making something happen.
Good save.
Oh, and he almost tips it back in there. That was a good look from Spencer Meese. Good awareness, but just off the pipe.
The crossbar says no thank you there.
Yes.
Here's Brass again. Ooh.
Tough fall there for Ty Dwyer. Dwyer comes from Lindenhurst, Illinois.
That is a very close place to my hometown. I have actually been there. I think we're about 1 for 5 on places I've been tonight, but Lindenhurst is one of them.
Your percentage is increasing as the night goes on.
Great save.
Yeah, nice save there for Ian Bosman. A Colorado native, having himself a good night in net, albeit a fairly quiet one.
Yeah, but 6 saves for him, so definitely making the saves when it counts.
Absolutely.
That save made it 7, so good night for him.
Good clear from Garrett Fragnoli. Here's James Conlon, freshman. Just over 4.5 minutes left in this third quarter. We still got a good chunk of game left. Score is 17-3. Here's a Wiggins.
Diggy.
Eli Van Singel comes back in the game. Zealand West product.
Interesting to still see Wiggins in the game. Obviously a very good player and dominant. I guess an indication of the fact that Hope is still not done yet, and they look to keep their foot on the gas here.
Kylan trying to make something happen. Kylan went to the Hill Academy, Grand Rapids native.
Did you say that the Hell Academy?
The Hill Academy.
Oh, okay. That makes
Yes.
more sense.
Yeah.
I was a little confused.
Excuse me if you misheard me at home.
I would not want to go to the Hell Academy, personally. Ooh,
Nice move there.
he's going to take it himself, number 16. Oh, he seems to be a little upset. Oh,
Oh,
he seems to be injured.
it looks like we have an injured player on the field.
Number 16? Or, nope, not 16.
Might have been number 10.
10.
It was non-contact.
That's Brock Melanson. It looks non-contact. It doesn't look very good.
I didn't see anyone around him.
Yeah, as Austin said, maybe a
He threw the ball to his player.
non-contact injury. Not entirely sure what happened. We're going to give it a second. We'll be back with you shortly. Good to see number 10, Brock Millinson, walking off on his own power. Unfortunately, very ginger on that right leg, I believe. You hate to see something like that in a game like this, especially early in the season. I mean, you don't want to see injuries anytime in the season, Austin, but
Yeah, definitely. It's
tough sight.
Yeah, really unfortunate for him.
Good sportsmanship by both teams, taking a knee in support. The game will continue here at Van Andel.
Yeah, this game has stayed pretty respectful on the note of sportsmanship, so got to commend both teams there. It's not always easy when the scoreboard looks like that, but it seems to be a pretty respectable game between the two teams.
We'll see if Illinois Tech can get off something. Maybe a little inspired after their teammate's injury to play hard for him. Ball's picked up, by Juan Horquez from Columbia. Played at Collegio Rochester.
Ooh,
Nice move there.
Brass put a little sugar on that move.
A nice shot by number 12 and a nice save by the other number 12 there. Good play by both teams. It's Brass and Bosman. Outlet pass.
Great find there in the center of the field.
Yeah, nice pass there from Tucker Martinez. We haven't really talked much about Tucker Martinez tonight. We haven't really had to because he's just had a stellar game on D. He's done everything that he's needed to. So commendable performance from Martinez. Here's Merritt Archer, who we've seen a chunk in the second half. Merritt Archer has showed some skill, putting some balls in the back of the net, looking quick. Got a nice shot.
Here's Nico Santos.
Santos, another freshman. Some of the young guys getting some more time here. Shot taken, just off. Save the Dutch.
Santos from Kirkland, Washington. 1 for 6 now. On places I have not been.
It's tough.
Well, a great pass and a great goal there by Hope. Wow.
43.
Eli Van Singel, that's his first of the night. Sophomore from Zealand West. Michael Mann with another assist. He's had a good chunk of those between him and Bowen. There's been quite a few, particularly. The score is 18-3. The margin continues to grow. And Hope, keeping their foot on the pedal. They're still accelerating. And you can see by the reaction on the bench, they're having a good time. It's been a fun night for them. And on the other bench for the Scarlet Hawks, it's been a tough game, second game of the season. So I'm sure that they will learn a lot from this and get better as they push forward.
Yeah, at the start of the season, it definitely makes a difference, you know. That's some effort there that you see.
And how about the hustle by Max Zimmerman? And that's the sort of play that you just love to see.
Oh, yeah. He'll watch that back on film tonight a couple times.
Wow, and the ball's still in play. Here's Wiggins. Wiggins with a little shovel pass action.
Wiggins, let him know why he's named Wiggins. Because he's a player.
Zach Wiggins looking like Andrew Wiggins with the wonderful pass there.
The experience shows there for Matt Roby.
But once again, hey, that play by Max Zimmerman Jr. from Bloomfield Hills, it's one of those plays that you just love to see when your team is up 15 and you got guys diving for loose balls. That's the mark of a program that's built to succeed and is well coached.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. That it speaks volumes about the program and the player, especially. They're not letting up, and they're not here to make it easy on anyone. And as an opponent, you know, you almost respect that more than, say, a mercy rule or something of that sort, because you know they respect you enough to never take their foot off the gas and to keep pushing you and themselves, no matter what the score is. It's honestly a greater show of respect, I feel.
Here's Man. Man's seen a good chunk of minutes in this game for sure. Here's Blaine Hind. Moving off a pick. Back to Man. We've seen Man initiate a lot of
Ooh, good save there.
Yeah, it looked like there was a hold there. Not sure if that was on, maybe it was on Spencer Meese, I'm not sure.
Number 36, I believe.
Nehemiah Green, senior from Texas, played at Round Rock.
It's a very dynamic team in terms of location here, Illinois Tech. I'd be curious what brings these students here to Illinois Tech.
Yeah, oh, that's well said. Definitely must have an interesting recruiting program as they bring in players from all over the country. More so than a lot of the programs that we see.
Especially in the MIAA, a lot of Michigan kids, a lot of Indiana, Illinois kids. That's just more typical here, but it's fun to see some locations I've never been before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
nice
wow.
shot.
He collects that midair and just puts it in the goal.
Alex Goodall, the junior from Clarkston, Michigan, played at Lutheran Northwest. And he can shoot too. There's only 1 second left before the end of the quarter. Just to let you all know, making that goal even a little bit more impressive. 19-3 lead.
Yep.
Wow.
Great clock awareness there.
A lot of really impressive goals tonight for the Dutch. Feels like the Scarlet Hawks have not had an opportunity, a good opportunity on the offensive side in a while. That brings us to the end of the third quarter. Once again, Matt Rowland, Austin Cortez, thank you for joining. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back for the start of the fourth quarter. Welcome back to Van Andel Stadium. It's the fourth quarter here at Holland, Michigan. It is a brisk night on March 8th here. The Google Pixel is telling me it's 31 degrees. That is just below freezing. And we still got 15 minutes of play left here. Hope up 19-3, shots on goal 33-11. Austin, feel free to cut me off if you got any stats that are sticking out to you after 3 quarters as we get the face-off here.
Yeah, Hope has 4 players with over 4 points, and for those of us who aren't necessarily statisticians, that means assists and goals combined. So that means if you combine the number of assists they have and the number of goals they have over 3 points. So that's a fantastic stat for Hope.
Yeah.
All the way down the line.
Who are those 4 players?
Yeah, we have Michael Mann, we have Sam Bowen, we have Jonathan Mann, and Zach Wiggins. So a great night for all 3. Oh, and actually, Brian Barra, has 3 points as well. So make that 5.
A lot of great performances tonight. And in a game like this where the O looks so good for the Dutch, you're excited to get a player like Radsville back out there, who's potentially the best offensive player on the team.
Yeah, and maybe even the MIAA.
Right.
Definitely a great player, and it'd be great to see him back out there and see, if they can do this without him, what can they do with him? You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, and Mace looking to take himself there.
Yeah, Radsville recovering from a concussion. We wish him the best and hope to see him back out soon.
Yeah, and worth noting on Illinois Tech's side, Reed Tangeman and Spencer Mace with 3 and 8 shots respectively. So some individual performances definitely showing for Illinois Tech there too.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's Tangeman, who you just noted. Tangeman with some moves, as we mentioned earlier in the last game. Tangeman had a goal, assist, 2 ground balls, and cost a turnover. He was part of the reason they won. And he's going to take a shot here. No, he's not. He got me faked out, but good D from the Dutch. And that's not what you want to see there. Let's see if they can retain possession. They do. Here's Spencer Meese. Spencer Meese, got to give it to him. He's been working hard all night. He's seen a lot of minutes, and he has done his best to try to put this team on his back, despite the fact there hasn't been that much offensive possessions. Here's Tangeman. And there's number 23, Juan Bajorquez, taking a shot.
And it looks like we had John Shea, the junior, step into goal here for Ian Bozeman.
Okay.
He actually started the first 2 games of the season, so good to see him back out in the field.
Yeah, seeing some different guys get some different playing time.
Ooh, and a goal.
Yeah, and hey, how about that?
Spencer Mace.
Spencer Spencer had a solid game. He got something to show for it. That's the second goal of the night.
And who says the commentator curse is real? You know what I mean?
It's real when you want it to be real.
Yeah, it's real when it works against your team. Let's be real. It's not the commentator's fault.
It's real when you're commentating 4 quarters of the game and you need some context when it's real.
That is for sure. Another observation I had during the halftime break, I just want to get a quick shout out to all of our NFC North fans. It's another day of tragedy and another season wasted as Aaron Rodgers rejoins the Packers this year, and just got to give a quick condolences to my NFC North fans.
All right, and back to lacrosse. The Dutch have possession. We don't have a number on time of possession for you, but I imagine it's pretty interesting. Nice move there by James Conlon. A shoe was gone.
The equipment
comes
back to haunt us.
It's one thing to break an ankle. It's another thing to de-shoe someone. I'm not sure if that's a verb I can use, but we're going to go for it. That's unfortunate.
Hey, I made up words. That means you can too, right?
Yes. But of course, all things aside, of course, this is a hard loss by Illinois Tech. But just want to reiterate, this team has as we see some nice attempts there. Illinois Tech is going to clear it if they can maintain possession. Scrum here. Oh, look at this.
Great pickup there by number 27.
Andrew Conlon. Yeah, senior LSM from East GR, excuse me. But as I was saying, I just want to reiterate for Illinois Tech, obviously, a lot of the players that we've seen tonight are first-year players. Very young team, so a team with potential. Got to see tonight as a learning experience. Obviously, playing against a Hope team that, dominates a lot of teams because they're just very good. They've been around for a while. They have a lot of veteran and youth experience. We see a goal there.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Looks like somebody else is hurt.
Uh-oh. That's not looking great. Gonna limp off, but didn't like to see the reaction there. James Conlon
Goal for Hope College.
limping off.
David Brace.
While that was happening, another freshman, David Brace, scored a goal. Hope that James is doing all right. Thankfully got off on his own power, but definitely favoring that leg.
Yeah, you just hate to see that in a game like this. Of course, everyone wants their minutes and everybody's working hard, but nobody wants to get injured, especially in a game this lopsided.
Yep. Just over 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. This is Van Andel Stadium, Hope College Athletics. And how about that goal right there?
Takes it himself from the face-off to the goal. Call him the journeyman because he's going the length of the field.
Wow. That's number 31, Caden Brainerd, freshman, another Fogo guy from Muskegon.
Fogo guys matter too.
That's right. You can see the bench excited to see one of their guys who doesn't always get a ton of playing time put that in the back of the net. He's met with a great reaction from his teammates, and you love to see that.
And especially, especially his fellow Fogelman, Scheffler. Great reaction.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love to see him rooting for his underclassmen.
Yeah, Fogo guys, a fun position to cheer for in lacrosse. Obviously a very specialized talent, and when you have some guys that are good at what they do, it can really, really make an impact. That shouldn't be understated.
Yeah, and we can see that here. Hope winning 22 face-offs as opposed to Illinois Hawks 6. So definitely big and makes a difference. It gives your team the possession to start the restart. So it's a huge moment for them. A shot looks like it's going to stay with the Red Hawks or the Scarlet Hawks here. Excuse me.
Hawks still got it.
Back to Brass. Here's Ty Dwyer. Here's Brass. Looks like a flag was thrown. Ooh, Brass. Ooh, off the woodwork or ironwork, I guess, if you will.
Yeah, nice shot there. Great play-by-play commentary by Austin Cortez.
Working up the ladder, day by day. You can only get better. You can only go up from where I started. Let's be real.
That's right. Well, look at that nice little attempt there. That's Reed Tangerman. Nothing doing. We're going to see Blackburn and Ramo Blancato check in for the Dutch, as well as number 33, Carter Hitchcock, junior LSM from Culver Military Academy. Culver Military Academy still gives me nightmares.
Must have been a prominent lacrosse school there you're having nightmares about.
Well, when you play for Heritage Christian School and you learn you're going to play against Culver Military Academy, just name alone you're a little scared. Then you see how good their lacrosse players are. Yeah, they're a different breed.
Well, we're glad to have them here, I hope.
Absolutely. All right. Serving the penalty for Hope is Tucker Martinez. Man-up opportunity for the Scarlet Hawks. We'll see if they can convert.
Turnover 12, no cause, ground ball.
It's a turnover once again for the Scarlet Hawks, and we'll see if Hope can maintain possession. You don't want to. Obviously, you never want to give away a turnover, but when you have a man-up situation, it stings a little bit more. Austin.
Yeah, definitely. It's you have a similar situation in water polo actually when you commit a foul and somebody comes out of the side of the pool, but sometimes you just got to fight for that turnover, and when it happens you got to move on and move to the next play because the game's still going.
I will say, Austin, that might be the first time I've ever seen water polo and lacrosse compared. So kudos to you. That's an impressive feat in itself.
Really not that different when you think about it.
I don't know. I've never thought about it like that, but okay.
Swimming, running, arms, legs, body parts.
Nick McCreary trying to make something happen, saved. John Coyle still in net for the Scarlet Hawks.
Ooh.
Hey, nice possession there from Reed Tangeman, who's also logged quite a bit of minutes tonight.
Here's Meese. Taking himself. Ooh, and a great shot and goal from Meese.
Meese really showing himself to be a leader tonight for the Scarlet Hawks in a tough loss. Unless there were to be a comeback in the last 7:42. He's scored multiple goals. I believe that is his third.
That's his third. That's correct. And 4 points on the night.
Yeah, good night for Meese. 4 points on the team's 5 goals, so he's been involved in just about everything that's worked offensively for Illinois Tech. Here's Wiggins, still out there. Worth noting, Jonathan Mann, of course, has had a great game tonight. He's had a great game all week. He's had great games all week. Excuse my terrible grammar. Nice turnover there. Jonathan Mann was awarded, I'll cut to the chase, as the MIAA Men's Lacrosse Offensive Player of the Week. So congratulations, Jonathan, on that award. Scarlet Hawks take possession.
And very well deserved, obviously. We're seeing it here tonight.
All right, after that stoppage of play, Scarlet Hawks continue to press offensively. Just under 7 minutes left in this game.
Reed Tangeman with the ball.
Good defense there. We saw Nolan Jameson on the defensive side.
A turnover from the Hawks there, and a great clear. Assuming he can pick up this ground ball, and he does. Driving down the field.
Nice pass. And
a great goal. Wow.
Set up by a very nice pass from Sean Cunningham.
22 from 10.
And that is a great goal for James Conlon, who we saw get injured a couple minutes ago, not limping anymore. Rips that one in the back of the net.
Yeah, that would be definitely great to see. I wonder if it was maybe an ankle roll or something of that sort. Just had to get it taped up and supported, and then he'd get back in the game.
Good defense on the other side by Nolan Jameson. Nolan Jameson was a camp counselor at Camp Geneva last summer. Now currently harassing players on other teams, so multi-talented indeed. Scarlet Hawks will look to clear.
Looks like we had Owen Klaar step in the goal.
All right.
For the Dutchman.
Hard hit there, and some aggressive D that we just saw. That's Remo Blancato.
Coach looking for a foul, it looks like here. Doesn't look like he's going to get one.
Yeah, frustrations definitely mount a little bit when you get hit hard like that late in a game that is a blowout. But clean hit. Here's Nico Santos, freshman. Santos with the shot, tries to go 5-hole.
Good save there from John Shea.
I believe you mean John Coyle.
That'd be correct. John Coyle. Sorry about that.
You were half correct, Austin. It could have been worse.
Hey, I've done worse on a test before, so hey.
Just over 5 minutes left. Once again, thank you to all of you for joining us. We see our like count has increased to 15. That makes us very happy. Nice defense there. That is number 35 for the Dutch. Cam Deans, junior LSM, making some magic happen. playing with a short stick.
Nice save.
Good shot and a good save there by Owen Clark. Ooh. A great forced turnover there by the Red Hawks.
Samuel Hansley and Blaine Hine check into the game.
Looks like Red Hawks ball.
It's a turnover on Cam Deans.
Here's Jackson Brass on his wheels.
Yeah, trying to make something happen. Still fighting. Got to commend these guys that have been playing quite a few minutes in this game. That's an understatement.
Usually we get called for like a push on
Yeah, there's like a push with possession. Ooh, Sam. Just push. Go back to that. Go back. There's like 30 seconds and slashes.
Here's Hope on the offensive again.
Yeah. You can use those all the guy.
Right, yeah, you just go down.
Someone hits you.
Checking into the game on the defensive side, we have Nate Jobson for the Dutch. Shot taken and saved.
Good save there.
Coyle getting some playing time. A luxury for the Dutch team to get a lot of these third string tight players in the game. We got another flag. Unfortunate to see with just over 3 minutes left in the game.
That interesting flag there. It looked like it was gearing up to be a tripping call, definitely, but he didn't actually touch him, so I'm surprised he called it.
I think the ref's just trying to call it a little bit closer now, of course, when your team is winning by 17. But I don't know, Austin.
Yep, it's definitely one of the hardest things to do is get into the mind of a ref.
We appreciate our referees and all they do. It's a tough job.
Oh, for sure. They're probably the most unloved job in sports.
Maybe not as hard as commentating, but it's got to be somewhat close.
I'll tell you what,
Just kidding.
I got to give the ref some credit.
joking.
I do not have the stride he does, so I will give him that credit.
Scarlet Hawks have possession. Under 3 minutes left in this game.
Here comes Meese again.
Yeah, Meese, 4 points, 3 goals. Here he is. And you can see Meese probably a little bit tired after all the minutes he's logged tonight. He's checking out. Hard-fought game. Got to appreciate what he's done.
Stepping in for him is Juan Borroques.
Thank you for saying that with a little bit more fervor.
Try my best. Hopefully it was correct.
Eli Van Sinkle back in the game. He scored a goal already. Nico Santos still in the game. Santos is going to take a shot. He's hit pretty hard, hits the carpet. James Conlon.
Merritt Archer enters the game.
Archer has a strong showing as well. Of course, the score is 22-5. Just about a minute and a half left. Upcoming home sporting events for those of you who are Flying Dutch fans. This Friday at 7 p.m., the women's basketball will play against Milliken NCAA tournament at DeVos Fieldhouse.
And the Sweet 16, worth noting.
Yeah. The women play at 7. I've just been informed from Freddie Velasquez, our streaming coordinator. I'd also like this time to say how much we appreciate Yalen and Trinity for commanding the media and camera needs of Hope College athletics tonight.
I know it sounds like we do it all, but we most definitely do not. That is for sure.
Absolutely.
Thankful for our team.
It's just under 1 minute left.
It's just on the face off. You see me score? After he scores, I look at the camera and just zoom in.
Here's Meese. to Dwyer. And to Borokes.
The next game for the Flying Dutch is next Monday, the 14th. They're going to play against Siena Heights at 6 p.m. After that, they're playing against Aquinas. Those both are home games. After that, they go on a long road trip. They will be playing against Aurora, then Lake Forest, then Carthage, then Davenport, all away games. So that is the upcoming schedule, and you hate to see this. 13 seconds left in the game and another injury. And this looks to be potentially serious. We will step away for a minute. Tough injuries suffered there for James Enterline of the Scarlet Hawks. Our thoughts and prayers go out to him. Hopefully he's all right, getting off with some assistance and met by applause. Obviously, I hate to see that with 13 seconds left in the game. So hopefully he will be okay. We are finishing up here. 13 seconds left. Austin, do you have any takeaways you'd like to give us? Anything about hope and what's next for them this season, what you've gathered from tonight? Once again, thank you for joining me tonight on the broadcast.
Yeah, I mean, definitely some key players that showed out tonight, and gotta give them the credit they deserve here. Wiggins, man, and the list honestly goes on. Great performances here, and interesting to note here, as you mentioned, the schedule for the Dutchmen doesn't necessarily get easier, and I look forward to watching the rest of the season. But an interesting note is that the Scarlet Hawks actually play Calvin in the next two games, so it'll be good to see, how they stack up against Calvin and potentially even stack up, and then how Calvin stacks up against Hope. So that'll be good to watch if you're a Dutchman faithful and looking for an extra lacrosse game to watch, because who doesn't love watching lacrosse?
Absolutely. After this game, the Scarlet Hawks of Illinois Tech will go to 1-1, and Hope College, your Flying Dutch, will go to 3-1. This is a good one for them. They will look to continue to push forward in what is a long season to come. Once again, thank you all for joining us. We appreciate all of you and everyone who has been a part of this broadcast, from camera operators to their sports information team. For Austin Cortez, I'm Matt Roblin. Have a good night.
In a Hope Forward model, every student who comes through the doors of Hope College would have their tuition 100% covered.